Torah Hashuai Az avadeti ve'ani lolei Torah Hashuai Az avadeti ve'ani Hi ratzon limud shel refuat Tanya bat Hoda Margalit Yosef Yair ben Aviv Chava Harav Sivan ben Sima betoch kol Shar Cholei Israel. We're in the days of Sfirat Omer, getting closer and closer and closer to Matan Torah, and therefore preparing ourselves for what is the secret and the essence of the day of Shavuot, of the Torah that we learn, and the sort of relationship that we have between us and Hashem through the book that has been leading us for the past 3,500 years, the Sefer Torah. When we look into Sfirat Omer and into the preparation into Shavuot, there are two psukim in Sefer Vayikra, Perek of Gimel. Pasuk Tet Vav says, "Usfartem lachem mimochorat Shabbat." It says that we have to count after the day of Shabbat. Miyom aviachem et Omer hatnufa, from the day that you have brought the Omer, Sheva Shabbatot Timimot Tiyena. So if you look at the pasuk on a very, very simple, basic level, it says that from the day after Shabbat, which in this pasuk means the day after Leil HaSeder, the day after the first day of Pesach, you must count 7 weeks. The one specific question on this pasuk is, why do we wait for the day after Pesach, the day after the Seder? What happened in that first day of the Seder, except for the fact that we brought the Omer, that means that we have to wait for the day after? Mimochorat HaShabbat, why? Why do we wait for the day after? But if we go into the next pasuk, the pasuk says, Ad mimochorat HaShabbat HaShvi'it tisperu 50 yom v'ikravtem mincha chadasha la'Adonai. Once it's said that we should count, it repeats again that we should count till the 50th day. So the first question on the second pasuk is, what is the need for it? If you've already expressed that we count 7 weeks, anyone who has passed the second grade knows that 7 weeks, and in each week there are 7 days, is 49 days. So I don't need you to express to me what that means. I understand that I should be counting. So I don't need another pasuk to tell me to count. But there's a drastic difference between the first and the second pasuk. The first one says that we count 7 weeks, which means 49 days. The second pasuk says we count 50 days, which is not 49 days. And so not only is the question, why do we repeat the fact that we are counting, but make a decision. Are we counting 7 weeks, which is 49 days? Or are we counting 50 days, which is not 49 days? And so just on the psukim, to just repeat the questions that we have asked. Number one, why conceptually are we waiting for the day after the Seder to begin the counting of the Omer? What's the secret behind the fact that we count after the Seder? The second question is, why do we need the second pasuk? If we have said that we count 49 days, I know how much I'm counting, I do not need you to tell me again to count. And the third question is that there's a drastic contradiction between the two psukim. In pasuk Tet Vav we are counting 49 days. And in Pasuk Tet Zayin, we are counting 50 days. So decide, are we counting 49 or are we counting 50? And so in those three questions, in the year 1886, the Sfat Emet says, Be'inyan tisperu chamishim yom. The Sfat Emet wants to understand, why do we say that we are counting 50, but throughout all of the history of the Jewish people, no one has ever counted 50 days? The Pasuk explicitly says, Usfartem chamishim yom. And we know that means to count 50. And if we need to count 50, it will take us a little bit of time, but it goes 1, 2, skip a few, 50. But none of us do that. We all count 49, which is not 50. So how do we understand this pasuk? That we say 50, but we count 49. And so says the Sfat Emet that there is a tremendous difference between 49 and 50. It's true that they are a number after each other. 49 and after 49 is 50. But they resemble two opposite worlds. And so says the Sfat Emet, what is 49? Mem tet panim tameh. The concept of 49 within Judaism is that there are 49 different levels of Tumah. Which means that there is not only falling, there is many ways of falling. One person can fall in laziness, another can fall in anger, another can fall in pride, another can fall in money, another can fall in caring only about themselves, other people can fail in saying things and not doing things. There are many types of failure. Failure is not what we examine. What we examine is the types of failure. There are 49 ways to fail. There are 49 different levels and stages in how deep and how painful the Tumah can be. And so we are not a religion that focuses on success or failure, but we focus on the individual and how each person is experiencing failure in a very different way. Failure is not a category in Judaism. Pain and process of failure is a concept in Judaism. And therefore, the idea of 49 is that we are not a religion that experiences success as a concept. We're not searching to succeed, we're searching to build. We are not searching for results, we're searching in how to build our personal experiences in life. And to understand this idea of 49, if we go back into Sefer Breshit, creation of the world, Perek Aleph, there's an amazing description that Hashem decides when He creates the world, and He says, Etz pri oseh pri. Hashem demands that there should be a tree of fruit that creates fruit. So if we read those four words, Etz pri oseh pri, twice it speaks about the word pri. If any of us look at a tree, there are two main parts to the tree that we see, which is, one is the etz, the trunk, the tree, the process, and the other is the result, the perot that come out from the tree. These four words say etz pri. The tree, which is the process, is the goal. The etz is the pri. And then it will also be oseh pri. Which means that in the ideal world, Hashem wants us to view the process and not the results. And in a way, He's teaching us that the results are in God's hands. But the decision of the process is in ours. And in that, God is making a separation between what you should demand of yourself and what you should let go of. Often we all have goals, and we think that the purpose is the goal. But the idea of Etz Pri is that Hashem wants us to understand that the results are not in our hands. We might work hard on giving over a shiur to our students. We might work hard on making a meal for our children, and we might do everything we can to make our birthday present for our wives or children perfect. but the outcome is never in our hands. You will do and you will build, but you will not decide. You will try and you will toil, but you will not make the final conclusion. And so therefore the concept of 49 is the experience of the process of realizing what causes failure. The idea of 49 is that we're counting in order to understand that life is complicated and that every day we need to create a new decision, and therefore we make a bracha and every day is Sfira Omer. But the next pasuk speaks about 50. And when it speaks about 50, that is the goal, but it's a different pasuk. And the pasukim separate between the process and the goal, and therefore make us understand that yes, we're searching for 50, but we can't count 50. We can get close, but we can't close the experience. We can get up to 49 and we can work and work and work and we can try and try and try. But the final moment is when we realize that we have to let go and understand that we do not control the end results. So if we summarize the idea in the psukim, we saw that there are two different psukim. One says 49 and one says 50. And the difference between the 49 and the 50 is that the 49 is the process to the goal. And that are days that we count, because the process is up to us. The second pasuk, which says Uspartem chamishim yom, it says Mincha chadasha la'Adonai. The 50th day, after all of your hard work, is not in your hands. You will do all you can, and the greatest accomplishment for you is to understand that the conclusion is in God's hands. If we go back to the first question, why do we say Mimachorat HaShabbat? Why do we count after Leila Seder? So in the practical, it's because we give the Omer the next day. But why do we give the Omer the next day? And the idea of Leila Seder is that God shows us. But the next day is, do you choose yourself? The day of Leila Seder is that God believes in you. The next day is, therefore, do you also believe in yourself? And so the process of the 49 days from after the Seder is, you might know that people believe in you, but do you believe enough in yourself to go through the process? And when you're going through the process, you're aware of the fact that at the end, it's not in my hands. The only thing that's in my hands is to decide to work and to realize that I need to be also dependent on others and especially on Hashem to get to my final goal. And so one of the great experiences for me is learning Daf Yomi with my children before they go to sleep. And I learned with Adiel and with Oritan a Daf Yomi for children. And in one of the times that I was learning the Daf Yomi, Adiel asked me a simple question. And his question that he asked me was, why are we learning a Gemara with pictures and not learning a Gemara just with words? And I couldn't answer him because I had to think about the question. And my answer should have been to Adiel, I can be aware of who you are. And as a child, you're still in a world where the pictures are great for you. And that's challenging, pictures with words. And in the process that my children are in, that's the Daf Yomi they should be learning. And as I grow older, the process of my learning should be aware of where my challenge should be. And my bracha as we enter into the 49 days of preparing for the 50th day, which is in Hashem's hands, are we aware of the next challenge that we must demand of ourselves? For a 4-year-old, the challenge is a Daf Yomi with pictures. For a 10-year-old, it's less pictures and more words. And maybe for a 32-year-old, the challenge is, can you not only learn, but can you live what you're learning? And so the bracha in this Shabbat is that we really all are zocheh to enjoy the process, choose the challenge that is individually right for us, and with that start preparing for Kabbalat Torah. Shabbat Shalom.